Let me bang,
I
man.
do let you bang. Hey,
Let me bang you, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No for Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Yep. Hey, welcome to Brett MMA Roasted Podcast. Me, Adam Hunter, here with Greg Romero Wilson.
Hey.
We're back. We're waiting for Don Frye as well as Sean McCorkle. And it's going to be a great show. Man, I just got back from Tennessee. I was in Tennessee last week.
I saw that, the comedy catch. Is Chattanooga a tough town to get to travel-wise?
Yes. I flew right into Chattanooga. And, of course, the night before, they told me they canceled my flight. Didn't tell me they canceled my flight. So rather than have, like, a 20-minute layover, it was a 12-hour layover.
Oh my God. Oh, so you ended up sleeping like in the airport?
Yeah, like on the floor. People are walking over.
Oh my God.
Brutal. And then I got there, went right to the show. Like I got in at like 5:30, right to the show. I'm still like, I don't even know where.
So it took them forever to have another flight to Chattanooga.
Yes. Yeah. There's
So
like
what time was your flight supposed to be the day before?
I was supposed to get in at 9 o'clock in the morning. Instead, I got in at 6.
Oh, okay.
So 6 in the afternoon, so it was just like.
Oh, brutal. So you had to
Yeah.
sit there all day at the airport.
Yes.
That's the worst, man. And listen, when you travel as much as we do, it happens. And you would never want it to happen, but then when it happens, you're like, oh, this is it. I'm the guy this time. This is my turn. I'm the guy that's sitting here for 12 hours trying to make himself comfortable. Like, It's the worst. I'm so sorry, buddy.
That's all good. The shows themselves were great, although I got to say, like, the crowds are definitely, like, excited to be at the shows, but it's almost like they created, like, you know how you, like, create a dog when you're training it, and then all of a sudden you let it out of the house, and it just goes ballistic?
Yeah, we're looking at one.
That's how crowds are now at comedy.
That's how I am right now in Vegas. Like, I'm going fucking bizarre. Not really, but I mean, that's how I feel, So I get it. I completely get it.
This woman was like the whole time heckling, like, oh, yelling. But it wasn't like she was like being mean. She was just having too much fun almost, And then she's like, I want to tell a joke. I'm like, no, you can't tell.
Oh my God.
She gets up and walks towards the stage. And
she's been dreaming of this moment for 1 year. She's been at home thinking about how she should have been a comedian. And next time she's going to go to a comedy show and she's going to get on that stage.
So I'm like,
what is it about you? People just feel like they can do it to you.
I'm like, sit down, miss. I'm like, you can't have the mic. You can't have the mic. You can't. She goes, she reaches the mic. I'm like, no. She goes, you said I could have the mic. I go, no. I feel like I was talking to my 2-year-old. I mean, my 2-year-old actually listens better.
Right.
So I was
at least you're you're in rhythm. You've been in camp for this moment.
So it was just like, oh my God. So that was one, but the rest of the shows were really good. And then I went to Toothless Tom. Tom Galicchio opened up his own gym.
Yep, the one that he was charging, like, pay what you can or something like that. Right, yeah.
He has 65 people that joined this gym. I can't believe it. And he wanted me to come teach everything. He goes, hey, why don't you come coach a wrestling clinic? And I was like, all right, I'll do it. I haven't coached.
Totally, you love that stuff. What are you talking about?
I do, but it was like a day off, like without the
Right. Like, any other day you would have been yes, but that day you're like, I really would like to just rest today.
Yeah, it was like, and the night before I was sleeping, I was traveling like a man, So I was like, all right, I'll come in. So there was 3 people that joined. One guy has tattoos all over his face, like just
perfect.
Spider-Man. And he said that he joined this gym because he summoned that an MMA gym would appear, and it did. So he's all into like crystals and I'm not even sure. No one knows his background, where he came from, why he has tattoos all over his head and his face. The guy was the nicest guy, but then it was another guy who was like 350 pounds, drove like a John Deere, and then like some black dude. That was my class. And they couldn't wait to learn anything. They were thrilled. But I'm like, this is like the average Joes from Dodge.
Yeah,
like
absolutely. These guys are not on the first steps of a career in MMA.
No. And their leader is Tom Galicchio, who got like pads, whatever, with like smiles and a tooth missing on all the pads. Like,
that's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. And then that girl showed up to my show, Jenny Savage, with her boyfriend. The girl who stormed the cage in bare knuckle boxing, who got like a drink thrown at her. Yeah, so she came to the show. She's like really hot and really sweet in real life, and she wants to fight.
I love it. She's the MMA version of the Cash Me Outside girl.
That girl made $1 million on OnlyFans. Like,
yeah, I know. I saw it. Yeah, didn't she even post the receipts?
Yeah, which is crazy. It's just like, I mean, she just turned 18 last week. Are that many perverts in this fucking like wait?
Yes.
Yes. Like who's like $1 million she made? Like to do what? What did she do?
You know what though? At least she finally made some. She had what we call fruitless celebrity. I mean, she was like famous for no reason, so there was nothing she could do with it other than make appearances. And now she found a way to do that. You know, she's basically just making appearances with her ass out. But good for her. She's at least finally making some money with it.
I actually did your joke, Greg, because when I was teaching the clinic, that big guy is like, I need a break for a sec. And I go, boner timeout.
I feel like it didn't go over as well there.
No,
as it is right here.
They killed. They were all they were dying laughing.
Yeah, I insist that it's a thing. I there's got to be places where the boner timeout is a thing.
So and then I dropped my kid at school for the first day because she's almost 3, so she's starting like pre-K, and I was nervous. I was more nervous than she was. So then like she goes right into class. You know, they got to wear masks, which is like, but whatever. It is what it is, right? And she goes to play, and then the teacher's like, hey, you want to say goodbye to them? And then she looks at us and starts crying, like hysterical crying, and then like breaks. That
sounds right. There it is. Finally, the correct response.
So then then my wife and I left, and I go to the principal. I'm like, hey, listen, do we have to pull her out? Because she's crying. She's like, she's been here 5 minutes. Relax.
I feel like they've seen this before.
Yeah, I'm like, if it goes all day, it's one thing. But I'm like, are you sure? Because I can just take her home with me. And like, I was
you're turning into that, Dad. You're like, are you sure? Maybe just keep it with me. And you know what? This is always a bad idea. Do you do refunds? Do I have like a 3-day lemon law rule or anything? Or?
Oh yeah, but so they sent us pictures all day. She's having a great time. McCorkle, how are you doing, man?
I've been better, but I'm doing all right now. That story reminded me, man, of when I dropped my daughter off for first day of pre-K 5. Like she was walking up there with her little backpack, and then she turned around like right before she went inside and waved at me and blew me a kiss, and then I cried like a baby, like as I pulled away because she was, it seemed like she was growing up, and then now suddenly she's 22. Man, it's amazing. That's why I tell you all the time. I know I like a broken record, but. Like, it goes so fast, man, you will be shocked. Like, before you know it, she'll hate your guts, and she'll be 16 and won't talk to you and never leaves her room. And you're like, okay, I don't know what I did wrong, but all right. And then, as they get older, they come back, I guess, man. But now I've been sick, man.
Wait a minute, she's 22. You have a 22-year-old daughter?
Yeah, and a 19-year-old boy, man.
Okay, how tall are they? Did they get the height?
My dad was 6 foot. My mom was 5'5". I ended up being 6'7". My daughter was on course as a girl. They said I thought she was going to be 6'3" on her growth chart. She's now 5'6". Like she just stopped growing at 12. She didn't grow anymore. She pulled
a Wilson. She just stopped growing.
Yeah. At 5, and my son's about 6'1", 6'2", and he still appears to still be growing at 19. He's still growing. So it's a weird thing.
You know what though? That worked out the right way then, because if it had been me, I would have wound up with a 6-foot daughter and a 5-foot fucking son.
Yeah.
And And the daughter would be a lesbian, and the daughter would be straight, but the son would be gay.
The son would be a lesbian.
The son would be a lesbian.
You ever see Brock?
I always thought about that's funny because, I would never date tall girls. I didn't like them, so I had a girl that was really into me for a long time. And I just wasn't going for it back when I was single. And she finally like, what is the problem? I said, sorry, she was 6 foot tall. I just don't like tall girls. And she was like, you're a fucking giant. How dare you discriminate against me for being tall when you're 6'7"? I was like, number one, I like tall girls and I didn't want 9 foot tall children. So like that was
they're good. Hey, listen,
thing,
that child could be paying your bills right now with that.
yeah.
And the other thing, we used to know a gal, this tall gal in New York, and I want to say it was maybe Veronica Mosey that did this joke, but she was like, short bitches, quit stealing all our tall men. they're like, you're short. You can have any of these guys. I'm 6 feet tall. I need someone at least 6'3". And she's like, but every time I see one, he's with this 4'7" little tomato. And she's like, leave our tall men alone.
Yeah. You ever see?
That's kind of similar to when black women hate white women for dating black men. They're like, as if it isn't hard enough to find a good black man. This is black women saying it, not me. But like, then you got these white bitches coming and stealing them all. So I'm like, I don't know. But,
you ever see Brock's daughter, Brock Lesnar?
No.
Yeah.
she's like going to be like an Olympian at like shot putter. She's fucking like.
Is she just built like a brick shit house?
So yeah, she's like, talk about genetics, man. Like Sable and Brock. I mean, she's gonna be a world.
I also heard she beat Brock Lesnar in a Brock Lesnar lookalike contest because it looks like someone copied and pasted her face on Brock's face on her body. But,
I think she's in high school, so we're not gonna go there. But I'm just saying that, like, as far as genetics go, wow. I mean, she's strong.
Yeah, she's gonna be a powerful person.
Yeah. Don Frye, how are you?
I'm good, sweetheart. How are you?
So, by the way,
did you just finish a breakfast bowl of barbed wire?
Yeah, it was good.
Man. Oh, God.
By the way, I was on stage, Greg, and there was a couple, and the girl was wearing a mask, and the husband wasn't. And I'm like, what, do you want him to die? Is that what's like, at what point do we just go either?
No way, you can tell that they have had this argument already, and she's just let him, you know what? I can't talk to him anymore. I'm going to wear mine. I can't stop this motherfucker.
Maybe he wanted to die. Maybe he's tired of putting up with their bullshit.
When Adam stops wearing his mask, we'll know that's the reason.
Oh my God. So, but by the way, have you heard the whole Michael Rappaport thing?
Unfortunately.
So Michael Rappaport, who I was always a fan of his acting.
Yes, as an actor, yes. Not a big fan of his comedy.
I haven't seen stand up, but he does well on the these rants. Anyway, so him and Kevin Garnett got into it because they were like talking.
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Right, Kevin Durant. They were talking.
I know they all look the same, Adam. It's
I know. Shut up. All right. So they were talking shit to each other because I think like Durant wouldn't do some kind of and Rappaport has this game where people DM him and he blasts them. Like he blasts people that DM him all these horrible things, right? So they're going shit and talking to each other, and like Durant's like, you're a cum guzzling piece of shit, blah blah, and Rapport's saying this, that. They're going at it, right? And then kind of talking shit, and Durant's like, when I see you, I'm gonna spit on your face, and it seems like it's like fun shit talking, but like So Rappaport decides he went over the limit and posted DMs posted screenshots of Kevin Durant calling him like a cum guzzler and this and that. So he gets fined.
You got to know, though, anytime you put something down in this device, it's part of the permanent record, and it's just dangerous, but it's a private message. It shouldn't be made public like that.
Yeah. So now Durant got fined $50,000 by the league and maybe some more. Rappaport, it's all over the news. People are really angry at Michael Rappaport. They're calling him a rat, a snitch, this and that. And now I think he's trying to double down, saying he did like an Andy Kaufman thing, and he's posting Andy Kaufman pictures. But I don't know.
You can't just hide. That's like when people hide behind Bruce, Lenny Bruce. Like Lenny Bruce, it's like Lenny Bruce was a brilliant comedian who made fantastic arguments. You're just fucking saying dick shit. You know, it's a different thing. Although, you know, again, it's this joke I've been doing. It's like, remember we were kids and they said that, we used to have that saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will ruin my career. That's not how you remember it, because that's not how it goes. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah. So now.
Well, Michael Rappaport can write a $50,000 check in, you know?
Well, that's what people are saying. People are saying that he should pay for it.
Yeah, he should. Exactly. Yes.
But he's saying absolutely not. He's saying absolutely not. I'm not paying for it. Fuck that. Blah, blah, blah. So, yes. Yeah,
you let him know I'm showing up with Don Frye, and he can either write that check to the NBA or he can write it to Don fucking Frye. But he needs to write that fucking check.
So that's one thing that's going on. By the way, so the dog I rescued, right? Did I tell you, Greg, I rescued this dog?
Yes. The what were you calling, Bisping? Yes.
Yeah, we're going to call it Bisbing. So I went away for a couple days because I was on the road. I come back. Now all he does is growl at me. He loves my wife, my daughter, and my mother-in-law. And He hates me. Like, I'm the one that got him. Like,
I love that. You know, it's like they spent the 3 days training the you.
And dude, I can't go to the bathroom without hearing brr. Like, I'm getting booed everywhere in my house right now. Like,
oh my God.
Like,
you have to be used to that. Shit.
Especially with the mother-in-law there now. Does she live there officially, or is she just nannying the kid?
She's leaving tomorrow, but like, he loves her. He sleeps with her, and literally everywhere I go, I get growled at. I get he thinks I'm gonna hit him. Like, I go to pet him, he fucking scours away. He runs away, and he went in the backyard and learned on Easter. He learned how to free the bunny. We have a bunny in the bunny cage. So I wasn't home, but they look in the backyard, and he's chasing the bunny around the backyard on fucking Easter. Fucking Looney Tunes thing.
That is crazy, man.
So anyway, all right. And then, by the way, are you selling merch in Vegas?
Yes, I'm doing great.
Yeah, people are liking merch, right? And if you don't know what we're talking about, you know, after the show, we sell T-shirts. When I was in Vegas doing that comedy club, I had all my T-shirts lined up, and I was talking to someone taking pictures. A fucking guy in a wheelchair rolled by and grabbed all my T-shirts, and it was electric, and rolled away. And someone's like, "Hey, fucking some guy just stole your fucking and he put on one of the shirts while he was." So now I had to chase the guy down that fucking hallway, and I'm like, now people think I robbed the guy in a wheelchair. Like, everyone's like, I'm like, give me that fucking shirt back. He's like, and now people are taking videos. Like, I'm a fucking
oh my God. Jeez, how do you attract to this fucking shit, man?
Yeah, fucking crazy. Fucking crazy. Another
only
issue.
You, brother. Only you.
So another issue. So Tootsie's strip club, right? It's a big strip club in Miami. It's like the #1 strip club. The women there are like beyond hot. So I went in there like 12 years ago with like Jay Davis, and no one recognized me right at the last comic setting except for the DJ Platypus, right? He's like, "Yo, you're the guy." Of course, the one guy, because he wants to be a comic, a nice guy. And he's a good dude. He had me host the stripper awards in Vegas and yada, yada. So he hits me up. He's like, "Hey, the UFC coming up next week. Would you be interested in coming down and watching the fight? And after your show, I'm going to be in Miami anyway, doing a show, and get 2 fighters that like we'll pay them, not that much, but free drinks, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, "All right, well, who do you want?"
Say Sean McCorkle and Don Frye.
You're goddamn right. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, I think you got 2 fighters right here that'll fucking do it.
I think the money would like cover like the plane ride and a couple $100. It wouldn't. I don't think it'd be worth it for you guys.
They'll take it.
So I'm like, I don't know, man. The only people I know are like Rashad Evans and like Colby, but they're gonna want a lot more money. Yada 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 yada. So he's like, he goes, find out how much Rashad would cost. So I text Rashad, "Hey," he goes, "Hey man, thanks, but strip clubs aren't my thing." So now I'm the fucking like degenerate guy. Like, now I'm the guy like pushing him into strip clubs. So now I've just been texting him like every day. "Hey man, you want to do a autograph signing at like a brothel? There's gonna be like fucking right in front of you," and like, just like,
of course you have to take it personally. Of course you have to take it fucking personally just because strip clubs are. Listen, I promise you, there was a time when strip clubs are probably definitely his thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that statement isn't like he's above it. I think maybe he's been run out of it. That's what I think.
All right.
You know what struck me as weird is when you were negotiating that and they were saying it's not very much money but free drinks. I started thinking you were negotiating a new contract with the UFC for 2 fighters because that's typically how their contract negotiation goes. Like, hey, you want to fight? It's not very much money, but we'll give you free drinks afterwards. Like, I don't know. And
that is most comedy club contracts. Sorry, go ahead.
I cut out when you guys talk about Michael Rappaport, but he sucks really bad. I was at a Twitter battle with him for a while, and I ended up posting a picture of him next to the guy from Star Trek with the sloped eyes that looked just like him. And that shut him up really quick. He stopped responding to me. But, yeah, Michael Rappaport, he thinks he's going to get famous or more famous by talking shit about Donald Trump all the time. That's his new thing. Like, hey, everyone in Hollywood will love me if I'm anti-Trump, right, guys? Like, that guy is something else. Anyway, sorry.
You know what's crazy?
So I'm just not a fan because to me it's not great comedy. It's just him ranting and making these long rah-rah pronouncements and all. I'm like, this isn't comedy. It's stand-up cheerleading. I don't know. It's just not my thing, man.
Maybe you would expect that on Brendan Schaub, but not Rappaport.
Well,
that's one.
Well,
Okay.
like a lot of these,
It took a while. Wait a minute. What time is it? That was the longest we've gone, I think, without a Schwab slam. 23 minutes. 23 new record. 23 minutes to Schwab.
A lot of these celebrities who like their entire existence was like bashing Trump. Ever since Trump's gone, and I knew this was gonna happen. Like Chrissy Teigen is off Twitter now. She quit it. What's his name? Alec Baldwin quit Twitter. Michael Rappaport is about to quit Twitter because it just seems like their whole thing. It's one thing to not like Trump, but when your entire life's mission is to fucking just, it's like, it just seemed like it was, I don't know, all of a sudden.
Hey, listen, I'm happy to see it go, I mean, let's move on with our lives. Let's turn the page. Fine. You don't want to be around anymore? Fine. Let's go. The world will survive.
Right.
Personally, I don't think, the thing is, I think it needs to be either only celebrities on Twitter or no celebrities on Twitter. Because people aren't supposed to be able to just reach out and touch you like that. I mean, it used to be if you wanted to get to a celebrity, you would have to write a letter, mail it to some studio, and hope that somebody fucking read it, which no one ever did. Right. Now you can they can just reach right out and fucking, I don't like you. That shouldn't happen. Fuck that. That's bad news. So get them all off Twitter.
Did you watch the fight with the guy's finger fell off last week?
I saw the image of it. I was like, is that fucking real? Yeah. It looked like out of a movie shit, like that, out of a Van Damme movie or something. Some crazy wheel kick. And the guy's like, oh, well, my finger. It was fucking nuts.
Yeah, the guy broke his finger blocking a kick, and then the other guy, like, ripped it off. Like, somehow ripped, and then they stapled it back and sewed it back. But I've never seen anything like that before. I mean, McCorkle, have you?
No, it's pretty bad. I know Travis Brown, had his bones coming through his fingers and called timeout one time during his fight. They actually gave him a 20-second timeout, which was weird. But I was curious when I heard it. Like, I think of all four of us, of course, only me and Don fought, but I think Don's the only one who would continue fighting with a severed finger. But I might be wrong.
Don,
I know I
and 9 others.
Don, what's the most you've ever been hurt in a fight?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Going in a fight or being hurt in the fight?
Like in the fight.
Shit, I don't know. Just, broke my hand, broke the occipital. Mark Coleman broke the occipital on me, during our fight,
Anytime I've seen that injury, I'm amazed that anyone could continue once that gets broken.
Yeah.
Boy, I don't use it.
Yeah.
It just looks so painful.
I got when we were watching our fight, and I forget the idiot's name, but he got poked in the eye, and he starts backing up and running, all that bullshit, turning his back and running. And I thought, what the hell's the goddamn problem? He got poked in the eye. Well, he's got another one, damn it.
Exactly. He's got one more, doesn't he? Come on. If you can see me, if you see half of me, let's keep going.
That's it.
I dislocated my shoulder in that fight that one time and fought for 3 rounds with it out. That was terrible, man.
That's
that was
fucking
terrible.
nuts, man.
That was bad.
Wow. I one time got a paper cut, and well, here's the thing, because it was during the pandemic, and a lot of times you don't know you have it until you put on the hand sanitizer, and
Right.
and then that thing lit on fire. But that's as close as I think I've got.
I know one time I got a leg cramp while I was watching Brendan Schaub's comedy special, and I barely made it through that, and that was like hell.
That's dose, as we say in Espanol.
By the way, McCorkle.
No, one time I did break.
You get those and can masturbate a lot, don't you?
I did break my arm once really bad. I mean, clean break. It fucking, woo, that one was a motherfucker.
How did you break your arm?
In a moped accident in high school. I got an accident. I looked over and my hand is still holding the handlebar, but then the arm is like down here.
Oh,
and the skin is just stretching between them. And I literally was like, oh, fuck. And I just kind of put them together and then ran home. That sounds right.
So, all right. Let's talk about some of the fights that happened.
There were fights?
Well, there was some. Did anyone watch the Bellator fights?
There were some fights?
Yes, Bellator. Did anybody watch the Bellator fights? Nobody watched them?
I still don't know is it on Showtime now? I'm so confused.
It was on Showtime, but also they aired it on YouTube for some reason for free. So,
I was watching Bellator on Showtime the other day, but it was a fight from years ago, so I'm so thrown off. Like I don't know what's going on. Like,
well, all right. Well, Pitbull won. He looked awesome. Jason Jackson beat Neiman Gracie. He actually almost couldn't fight because he almost like got he scraped his own eye against the cage and couldn't see. But yeah, all right. Let's talk about some MMA news then. They made Conor McGregor. What was that, Don?
Scrape your eye against the cage.
He did it. He fucking somehow he like messed up his eye against.
He's trying to crawl out through the fence or what?
I don't know how he did it, but he did it. So they made Conor versus Dustin 3. That's going to be, I think, July 4th weekend or that weekend, the big fight weekend. I'm looking forward to it. You know, McGregor says this time he's going to destroy him. You know, it wasn't – he won the first round, McGregor. It was the second round when he fell apart. And this time he's going to work on the leg kicks. I'm looking forward to it.
He's knocked out for it, yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the knockout, he'd have won, yeah.
Hey, that sounds like the story of my career.
You know, I don't know. I'm always excited to watch Conor fight, and I want to see what happens. Because if he loses this, I think you could say it's safe to say his status as like one of the biggest stars is going to go down a lot.
Time for that Diego Sanchez matchup if he loses this one.
Or Cowboy Cerrone again.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, Diego said he's going to end Cerrone's career because they're fighting each other.
Is he going to go back in time? Because Cerrone's career ended a little while ago.
No,
now he's just he's just riding it out.
Well, but like Diego, I think Cerrone's going to win this one. Though I think Cerrone's going to beat him.
This is the kind of fight that Cerrone wins too.
Yeah, I mean they've trained a lot before. Don, who do you think wins this fight, Cerrone or Diego Sanchez?
I'll go with Cerrone.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. I mean, football might be over, but the NBA, college basketball, and the NHL are in full swing. BetOnline even covers awards. I mean, how cool is that? TV shows and reality TV, which I love to watch. They got real-time updated odds and props on almost anything you can imagine. BetOnline has you covered for all the news, the scores, and odds. It's the best way to place your bets, and it's free to sign up. So head to the website and use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. So don't sit on the sidelines anymore, huh? Don't be that guy or girl. Get in on the action. Don't forget to use that promo code CLNS50 to receive a 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts. So visit our good friends and exclusive partner at betonline_AG. Take advantage of the best bonuses in the business. Sign up for a free account and use the promo code CLNS50 for your sign-up bonus. Use the hashtag BetOnline.
He's at a higher level when his game started going down. And he was at a much higher level than Diego's ever been. Although I do like watching Diego fight, but Cerrone is at a much higher level, all the way.
There you go.
Yep. This Wednesday on TNT, it's one championship. Demetrius Johnson is fighting Adriano Marez on TNT or the TBS. I think it's TNT. Look, I think Demetrius is more out of place than that guy's finger being in one championship. I mean, he's arguably the best fighter in the world. They're saying this guy Marez is pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. I kind of wish they would have kept Demetrius Johnson. It was weird the way they got rid of him. They Ben Askren, said they were getting rid of the division, but kept the division. He only lost to Cejudo. That was a very, very close loss. I was there. You could have given it to Johnson on that fight. So, I don't know. Also, Friday, Bader versus Machida 2. Looking forward to that fight. We think Bader's going to win. Greg?
Oh, wait. Is this on the senior tour or where is this?
Bellator.
So it is the senior tour. Okay.
Yeah.
It depends on what kind of condition. I mean, last time I saw Machida, he looked very human and very beatable, versus the Machida that, you knew who seemed almost unbeatable with that weird karate style. And Bader, he's another guy that I haven't seen in a minute. So, based on what I saw in Machida last time, I would imagine Bader could get him.
Yep. Don, you agree?
Yeah, I go with Bader on this. He's got a better style, and I'm hoping he's smart enough to learn, not to get kicked with that straight in kick, step to the left or the right instead of going straight in.
Don, out of all the martial arts, right, what do you think is the most important? Is it wrestling, jiu-jitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, judo, and where does karate come into this decision?
There really isn't one martial art. You can say that because they all have holes in them compared to the other stuff, But I would say judo is probably the closest because judo you have throws and submissions, so you'll be able to get knock them out with a proper throw. And then also you do have short punches in there when the referee's not looking, So it does have a stand-up and a ground game, Whereas, like American wrestling, it's really a really best foundation, but a lot of those guys, gold medalists or what have you, once they get punched in the nose, they decide they don't like it, And then you got your stand-up boxers. Once they get on the ground, they don't know what the hell is going on. So there's no one style, I guess. It's pretty much why the late Jeff Batnack called it mixed martial arts,
What do you think, Sean?
Man, surprisingly, I would agree with that. I used to say jiu-jitsu, but when I met Carl Parisi, and it was actually the fight that Don was the color commentator for, it was funny because when I met Carl, he asked me if I knew who he was. And I was like, yeah, man, I've known you forever. He goes, well, can you answer this? How are you the main event and I'm the co-main event? He said, because I don't even know who the fuck you are, bro. Like that was his word for word. Yeah. And I started laughing. I said, I don't know why. I guess I talk a lot on the internet. But Caro was only 32, I think, or 33 at the time. And he was telling me, I did this, I did that. I thought he was kind of full of shit, like he's telling big stories. But then Neil Melanson, who's Extreme Couture's grappling coach, a world-renowned grappler, was like, I got my black belt from Carl Parisi when Carl was 22. Like he was his instructor. And Carl showed me some stuff judo-wise, man. Like that's a whole nother level of judo, like that Carl has. Like it is unbelievable. He actually showed me a throw that I told him I couldn't take down Division I wrestlers. or even clinch with them. They would always drop and take me down, like really good heavyweight wrestlers. And he showed me this judo throw that works great against wrestlers. And I used it in practice a couple of times, was able to throw like guys that were like Jake O'Brien was a, superstar wrestler at Purdue, like really, really good wrestler. And I threw him flipping completely in the air. And then I used it in a street fight later on, and it works way better when a guy's 175 pounds and not a wrestler. It actually blew my mind how far the guy went. So, judo's a...
Wait, hold on. What street fight did you have against a guy that was 175 pounds?
Dude, I was at this club one night. I was flying out to Miami the next day, so I'm out there. And I was talking to this girl I knew, and I was there. I assume Don said that was a gay club or something. That matter. But yeah, Bruce Buffer was there. Like, I can't believe I'm in a gay bar. What's going on? Anyway, that's a funny story I'll tell you sometimes. But
how did this talk wind up in my mouth?
So no, I'm outside this club. They're getting ready to close, and it's like 3 a.m. and I got to catch a flight at 7 to go to Miami for something. I don't even remember what. I was going to Miami for something. And I have an Arab friend there with me, and this guy for no reason comes up and says, "Why don't you go back to Iraq, you fucking terrorist?" My Arab friend, which only I am allowed to call my Arab friends terrorists. Like, I don't let anybody else do that, or whatever.
That sounds right.
So I have a friend that's with me who's a cop, but he's not in uniform. He's not working. I said, it's one of my best friends. I said, "Hey, Dave, tell that guy to knock it off, or I'm going to punch him in the face. And I don't want to get arrested. I don't want any problems. I don't want any trouble." So my friend who's a cop goes over and says, "Hey, man, leave him alone. And he gets pushed right away. That's like my best friend since 7th grade. So I went over and I told the dude, I said, "You need to walk away right now, buddy." I said, "I'm telling you right now." And his friends had taken pictures with me earlier and asked for me to sign something, even though I wasn't that famous. But so they knew who I was. I thought he knew. So he ends up calling me a bitch and spitting at me. He missed me, but spitting at me. And when he did, I grabbed him in like a Darth Vader choke, from the front, and he tried to swing, and I caught his arm and pulled just out of instinct, pulled the Carl Parisian throw. And as God is my witness, that dude went 12 to 15 feet away from me in the air, upside down, hit a van that was parked on the side of the road and slid down, smacked his head, split his head open. I went to run kick him in the face because I'd lost my mind at that point. I could try to soccer kick him, and my friend at a bouncer dove and grabbed me, and I missed him by like 2 inches, which probably would have killed him. I'd probably be in prison.
Yeah, that might have wound up in some real problems.
Yeah, but I was really mad because I don't like being messed with when I'm not bothering anybody. So yeah, they did that. A cop comes up who happens to know my friend. He's in uniform, which was lucky for me. He said, "You guys need to get out of here." And the guy jumps up. His head is just pouring blood everywhere. He was like, "You gonna let him do that?" And he said, "You started it, you spit at him," and the guy said something. So then the cop tased him, which was great because he's bleeding everywhere, like clothes covered. He gets tased and arrested. Like 2 days later, I was still mad about it.
If you tase somebody, does it make the blood dry really fast?
No, but it did. It spread it. Like he was shaking, so it started going everywhere. So they arrest him. Over the weekend, I call another cop friend of mine, and I said, "Hey, I think one of my friends got arrested outside the Vogue nightclub in Indianapolis. Can you tell me who that was? I want to see if he got arrested so I could get the guy's name because I was playing a revenge because I was a little more angry back then." So I got the guy's name. I said, "Oh, that wasn't my friend, but thanks." So then I get on and find his Facebook page, and he had posted a thing that said, "Attention, Sean McCorkle," because I guess he found out who I was between now and then, and he'd underlined in the UFC fighter code of conduct he downloaded online that you're not supposed to street fight, and underlined and highlighted it, and I thought it was hilarious. Like I wasn't even mad.
That is hysterical.
Or whatever.
Attention, Sean McCorkle. You weren't even supposed to do that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
You big old meanie. You were supposed to let me win.
6 months later, I'm at the state fair, and some guy comes up and wants me to take a picture with him and his girlfriend and kid. And as I'm taking it, he looks familiar, but I can't figure out who he is. I'm like, this guy seems so familiar. And he goes, "Do you even remember me?" And I said, "Man, I'm sorry. I meet a lot of people." I said, "You look familiar." He goes, "Yeah, you beat me up like 6 months ago outside the Vogue nightclub one night." And I was like, "Oh," and his wife is like, "He is such an idiot. I'm sorry." Saying that. And I told him, I said, "Man, what were you thinking when you started that night?" He goes, "Man, I thought you were one of those bodybuilding guys." He goes, "They're always real easy to punk out, He goes, "because they're pussies. That's why they work out." He goes, "So, I thought I'd look cool in front of that girl I was trying to talk to and like smack you around or whatever, and you back down." And I said, "When did you figure out you were wrong?" He said, "When I was flying through the air, I decided it's probably a bad idea." He said, "This guy knows something." And so then he asked if I would testify at the trial and say we were just joking around and it got out of hand. And I said, "Man, I can't. I already gave my statement to the police. I didn't press charges because I figured he'd suffered enough. But I didn't. We let it go after that. But I think he got in trouble."
Why are you at the state fair?
That was not my idea. That was whoever I was hanging out with at the time's idea. So, not what I would have.
He was in the competition there, you know. They had the best looking styles. You know,
Exactly. He was in the cattle competition. What are you talking about?
Is the guy who drinks from a trough during interviews calling me an animal? What's going on?
He was looking for wife number 2. What do you think he was doing? Come on.
Yeah. Now, Sean, I don't know if I told you the story, Greg, that some guy was picking on another guy, and then Sean was there, and he was like fucking jacked. I mean, he was wearing an Affliction shirt. I never saw it, and he goes, I'm on 12 different kinds of steroids right now. So that was what he says to me. My first time meeting him. And I go, doesn't that have any kind of like side effects? He's like, Adam, I'm the nicest guy you ever meet. Some fucking like nerd gets like a beer thrown at him. Sean takes him. He goes, I will kick your ass and fuck you in the ass right now. Right? He lifts the guy up like 8 feet off the ground and says this to the guy. The guy runs out with all his friends. Sean spends the rest of the night looking for him in his Jeep. Like searching the college town for this guy.
Turns out Roy Rage might be real after all. It was crazy.
I was going to say, it sounds like at least 8 kinds of those steroids were doing the talking at that point.
That was a good cycle, though, man. I really was. That's the biggest I've ever been.
That was a good cycle, though, man. I was really, really good.
I looked amazing. So.
I'm gonna find him. Don't worry, no side effects.
Did I ever tell you what happened with me with the so when I took TRT, my friend Dean got me onto it. He's like, hey, it's good. They inject your butt with pellets. They put pellets in your butt. Like, so I didn't know what that meant. So I go to
something in my butt. Sign me up. No.
So I go to the doctor.
That's called anal beads.
So I go to the doctor, right?
Anal beads.
And I like bend over and like basically spread my butt cheek. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I thought you put pellets in there." He's like, "No, we carve out the butt cheek and place the pellet in like a little hole." I'm like fucking spread eagle on the fucking. He's like, "Why are you?" I go, my friend told me this was what you're supposed to do.
Dude, this says so much more about you than it does about the procedure, because I don't know anyone who just goes in is like, just their first thought is, I'm just going to go ahead and spread them.
All right, I'm kind of exaggerating. I didn't actually spread my ass cheek, but I did bend over and have my pants were like down a little bit, you know, like I was like,
one time,
right. Exactly. Backpedal.
Then the doctor was like, why would you come to a proctologist for a testosterone injection? I'm so confused.
One time I was on the road with T-Rex and Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
And T-Rex kept fucking he would catch me outside. I'd be outside the hotel, and his room, he had the window facing the outside, and he would knock on the glass, and I'd turn around, and he'd have his ass on the glass, like facing me. And one time he had his nuts against the glass. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I decided I was going to get him back. And so I was hosting, T-Rex was featuring, and so, and of course Craig was headlining. And so I finished my set. I bring T-Rex on stage. I go in the dressing room, in the green room, and I pull down my pants, and I bend over, and I spread my cheeks, and just waited for him to come back into the green room. And he walked straight into my asshole. And he's like, what would you have done if the waitress had come in before me? I said, it's a risk I was willing to take.
By the way, you talk about taser, right? When I was in boarding school, there were some crazy kids in my school. This guy, Roland, he somehow got a hold of a taser. And my roommate, who was like an alcoholic, like a full-on like senior, he was like 19, a senior-old, he was sleeping. And the guy took the taser, put it up to his cock, and tased his cock while he was sleeping. And then ran out of the room. And the kid said he went hard for like a week.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying it worked?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Could you imagine? I should go do that, and then I'm just walking around Vegas with a boner for a week, just like, I tased it. I can't do anything. I can't change it now.
Oh, man. All right, so let's talk about the fights this week. Also, Liz Carmouche taking on Vanessa Porto, as well as Jeremy Kennedy, a good fighter from Canada, versus Adam Borix, good fight. Kat Zingano, that's one of your favorite people, right, Don?
Why?
I heard you were at a fight and you kept saying like, sit me next to Kat Zingano or something, or like that. You liked her. You thought she was cute.
No, that got out of hand. I don't know who the fuck started that bullshit. But I gave her my phone number, so that the goddamn for whoever owned her gym could call me up about doing a seminar. And I guess Don's giving her his phone number, blah, it got stupid out of place.
Oh, that's wacky. That's annoying. Come on.
Yeah.
They should have just emailed Don, because I heard he gets right back to people on seminars.
Well, the thing is, like, Don, if Don likes a girl, he'll tell the girl he likes her. There's not much subtlety with Don.
I don't even think he tells her. I think he just clubs her and drags her back to the cave. I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of if you see Don coming with a club, he likes you.
That was the best underground forum nickname of all time. He hits me because he loves me. That was his screen name. I loved it more than anything. That was
oh my
Jesus.
Dude,
Jesus.
Don's first love letter was written in hieroglyphics. He wrote it on stage. It was just a big heart. All right, so Nate Diaz. All right, so this week in UFC, Marvin Vettori is taking on Kevin Holland. Holland's fighting again. This is going to be it might be a rough month for Kevin Holland. He got beat pretty bad by Brunson. He talked the whole time.
Wait, he's fighting again?
He's fighting again.
Yeah, he subbed in because what's his nim? Did he get injured or did he just drop out?
Darren Till.
Darren Till, yeah.
Got injured. And now Marvin Vettori, who is a great wrestler.
He lost his mind over that, though. Like, he was fucking like, these fucking bitches, I put all this. It's like, Vettori he seemed really pissed that Till dropped out. I'm glad they found a substitute for him.
Yeah. I said now Kevin's going to be learning Italian for this fight so he could talk to him.
I just find it odd an Italian guy had a temper. That's weird.
I don't know. I like Vettori in this fight. I mean, you never know with Kevin Holland because he's such a fucking unpredictable fighter. But I would, if my money would be on Vettori. What about you, Don Frye?
I have no idea who either one of you guys are, partner.
All right, so the guy from Italy, he's a guy that almost beat Stylebender. It was really, really close. He's just been on a warpath, just beating people. Kevin Holland is a guy who's like 6'2", black guy, and he won 5 fights in 2020. He had a great 2020, but then his last fight against Derek Brunson, he just talks. His whole thing is talking shit throughout the entire fight, just talking and talking and talking.
But we wouldn't fight, just talk.
It's not even shit. It's just like, hey, nice move. What are you doing later? This was really nice. Wow, nice. I mean. What's your favorite color? I don't know if that's what like relaxes him or what, but his last fight he got out wrestled the whole time, just taken down and held down.
Yeah, he just was on his back the whole time, still talking, but just being completely dominated.
He was literally asking Khabib for advice during the fight. So,
you know what's weird though? I give Holland a chance here. I really do, because I could see him getting into Vittori's head and getting him to make a mistake, He's got
power. He got lots of power, and he's unorthodox. And those are always the hardest people people that have power and are unorthodox are tough to fight.
Yeah, I think Vettori better not be looking past him. He better not be thinking, oh, okay, let me just rip this guy now. Because I could, strangely, I could see him kind of freaking him out.
Also on this card, Arnold Allen, who's 16-1 from England, is fighting Sadiq Youssef. This kid Sadiq's a monster. He's from Africa. Yeah. He had 5 moms, he was telling me. Some kind of poly, I forgot the name of it, but I
think that's I think that's a channel on YouPorn.
You say 5 moms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's from some culture where it's like it's normal for the father to have 5 different wives at the same time. And it's not Utah or anything. It's in Africa, but they don't sleep in the same bed, he told me. They all have different rooms. I don't know. This is like 5 times the headache, no?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got to pay for 5 of them. You got to deal with 5 dramas. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth it.
Although, I'll say this. Hugh Hefner didn't seem to mind. He did okay with that equation for a very long time.
He'd fire their ass. He'd fire their ass and kick them out, man.
That's true. That's true.
Not pay alimony. The
second they're like, he's like, I think you've had enough time here. Goodbye.
Dude,
I heard that Hugh Hefner back in the day, just all he paid those girls that lived with him was $1,000 a week and let him use a car, like have use of a car. I had to tell my ex-wife while we were still married one time, I said, you realize you cost as much to me as 4 or 5 women do to Hugh Hefner. You know what I mean? Like I give you a car and you spend about $4,000 a week. I said, so like I could actually have 4 of those hookers living with me instead, and then they would know when to shut up. She didn't like it. It's amazing we got divorced. But
I was dating a playmate back in the day, and she was like, but she was a playmate back in like the 80s. And she was still.
Is it McCullough?
No. But she was living at the mansion, but they put her like in the back, like with the dogs,
oh man, what?
Just because she was dating you?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe why, but she was like she was living with like the playmate's dog. Still a nice place, but like, you know, like I don't know. Well, I guess he just kept putting people back and back, and you know, like the earlier the playmate you were, the further you went back.
Yeah, like
she was all new meaning to being in the doghouse. Like, she's in used doghouse right now. No, literally.
Yeah, like she made the team, but she ain't starting.
It was like the Bellator of the mansion, you know. It was like
she's in the subdivision.
Funny how I was thinking about something. You know, like this guy Jack Haley. You ever hear Jack Haley, basketball player Jack Haley? So Dennis, back in the day, Dennis Rodman, like the only person that he'd hang out with on a team was Jack Haley when he was going to like those crazy bars and dungeons and whatever. And teams would pick up Jack Haley because they wanted Rodman so bad. Like in his contract, they were like, you got to have this guy too. Like, what was that?
My pussy ran out the window, out the door.
Uh-oh.
Like, what?
And that's why we sent you those handcuffs.
I'm not really.
Yeah. Come on. Stinky, come here. Stinky, come here. Giddy.
Is it called Stinky?
Yeah, my pussy named Stinky.
Don Frye has a pussy that ran away from him. Like the whole thing is like the first one.
He has a pussy that ran away named Stinky and a dog named Syndrome.
I thought he meant that like Jack Haley was a cunt, and then he just started all of a sudden I hear cunt.
I know. I thought he was talking about him too. I was like, uh-oh, this is gonna be a good story. He's like, my pussy ran away.
Greg Frye, what happens when your pussy runs away?
It's the worst because then I gotta go out and chase it around. They gotta get out the old John Deere and try and catch them without killing them. That's the real trick, you know. Don't want to get them caught up in the thresher.
All right.
You know what's awesome is I just realized last weekend. I was gonna say, I just realized who Greg is. Like I didn't know, dude. I saw one of your old stand-up comedy things came up on YouTube. Suggest I was like, wait, that's Greg Romero. I didn't know. Like I knew who you were, I guess, without knowing you were that guy. Does that make sense? Like I'd seen you in movies and TV before, but I didn't know until last weekend that that's who you were. So I don't know.
Can I tell you my you know, like my profile line where you're supposed to put a bio? It just says, "You've seen me, you just don't know where."
That's what, when I first met you, I was like, this guy seems so familiar. And then I saw like something you did on it was Byron Allen's Comics Unleashed, I think.
Yeah, Comics Unleashed, yeah.
Yeah. I heard you couldn't be more leashed on there. But I saw you on there. I was like, wait, that's who Greg is. Like I was like, I realized, I don't know. So I felt it was weird because I realized that I did know you from TV and comics.
One of my favorite stories that Norm Macdonald talks about that show. He was on Comics Unleashed and then Byron says to John Lovitz, he goes, so here you're getting older.
You had to set him up. I understand you're getting older because he has no segue.
That show, oh my God, it was the worst.
Who's not getting older? Like,
it was the worst. I know nothing flowed together at all. Someone would tell a whole story about their mom, and he'd just be like, so I heard you like chicken. Like,
right. Yeah.
It's just nothing connected at all. And then like we would start, like if the comics started interacting with each other, they would be like, all right, stop. Guys, it makes it hard to edit if you talk to each other. And they would like shut it down and then like make us just go back to doing our jokes.
Hit segues. He'd be like, so you think you can learn graffiti from You think you could learn Spanish from graffiti in France? You're like, what? Like it was just like
there was zero transitions. It was
They're
the
like,
worst.
Don, I heard your pussy just ran out the door. What's with that?
All right. So also this week, Sam Alvey is fighting Julian Marquez. Marquez, he had that crazy comeback a couple weeks ago, and he called out Miley Cyrus, and Miley responded to him. I called him. I'm like, dude, Miley Cyrus actually responded to you. I don't think he ever got the date. He's fighting smiling Sam Alvey, who is the most awkward, good fighter. Like, it looks like he's fighting in slow motion, but wins fights that you're like he beats like Rashad Evans. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, how did that happen? But it's going to be a good fight. I think this is a good fight because both of them have power. Sam Alvey has power. Who do we like in this fight? McCorkle.
I'll go Alvey, man. It, like you said, that guy pulls out some surprising stuff sometimes. I always love those guys that don't look like they should be fighting, but they still win. Like even the Jan Blachowicz or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Guy that just be style bender. Like he looks slow, uncoordinated, clumsy, and just beats the brakes off everybody. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. Keith Jardine was kind of like that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's the most awkward good fighter you ever trained with, Don, or that you ever fought? A guy that you were like, how'd that guy get any good? Was it Tim Sylvia?
That I trained with? Yeah, man. Sylvia is – people understand Sylvia is much better at everything than you think he would be. Like boxing, he's awkward and clumsy looking, and it looks strange. But, I mean, he was sparring with Mitrione one night, and Mitrione's got decent stand-up, man. He's fast, really athletic. And I could even tell Matt was like, what the hell? Like repeatedly, like that he would catch you with something. But if you do anything – Sylvia doesn't get enough credit, man. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he to be a 450-pound – fat kid who never played a sport in his life, couldn't even dunk a basketball at 6'8", to go train and take the beatings he took at Militich for years and end up being the UFC heavyweight champion is amazing to me, man. Like it really is.
Frye, who's a guy that you saw that you were like, how is this guy a good fighter? Don?
Yeah, I lost you. What'd you say?
Who's the guy that you trained with or that you fought that you couldn't believe how good they are based on how they looked?
Jeez. Good question. Shit, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Someone like Tank Abbott?
Yeah, someone like Tank Abbott, yeah. Sure. I'll do that.
All right.
Let me ask you something, Adam. Where do you think in the trajectory of his career Sam Alvey is right now? Is he on the rise? Is he on the decline? Is he in the middle? Because I don't fucking know with this guy.
You know, I think that like he was the guy that tried out for the Ultimate Fighter. I think he like didn't even make it past the whatever. He's got 5 kids. He adopted like 2 more. He's got his wife like was on America's Next Top Model.
She's hot.
She wants to be a fighter now. He's trying to get a fight between her and Paige Van Zandt. I think that I think he's having fun. He's on TikTok every day making these videos. But a guy like that, I don't think ever peaked. It's not like because he's always been like.
That's what I'm saying. Like just when I think he's out, he gets good again. And just when I think he's back in and he's on there, then he loses.
No, there are
I
certain
don't know
guys
what to
like,
make of this dude.
There's certain guys like Miguel Torres or even a Rashad or whoever that you're like, that guy, they had a peak. They went like this, they had a peak, and then they went, doop. Even you can almost put Uriah Faber in there too or someone like that. And then there's guys like Sam Alvey or like kind of how Jardine was or this guys that just fucking I wouldn't even say Frankie Edgar, but there are guys that they're just always around. You know, Jimmy Rivera.
Yeah, but Frankie was at the very top for a very long time.
No, I'm saying
Sam never quite reached the top of the mountain.
Yeah. I don't know. It's good question. Also on this card, Mike Perry is fighting. Mike wants to do stand-up now. Ever since he came to my show, he wants to tour with me.
You made it look so easy.
Who is it? Mike Perry wants to do stand-up?
Perry.
This sounds like a really good idea.
So long as he has his wife coach him, he should be great.
Oh, I'm sure somebody heckling him would go very well. Like,
yeah.
Oh my God. It'd be so. He would have a fight with the crowd every show. And it would turn into one of those things where he would sell out everywhere because people just wanted to see who he was going to fight in the crowd.
Yeah. Adam, I told you about when I met Mike Perry, right? Did I tell you that story?
No.
Yeah, so the promoter down in Florida, this guy Dean, he puts on really good shows down in Florida, man. He's a matchmaker for some bare knuckle place now. No, but he's a good guy. He said, man, this is before Perry was in the UFC. He goes, man, you got to meet this dude. He's awesome. He believes it. And I was like, believes what? He goes, just you have to see what I mean. He believes it. And I was like, what? He goes, just trust me. And I'm like, okay, he believes it, whatever it is. So I come up and I'm like, hey, man, nice to meet you. I talked to him or whatever. And then Mike Perry went into like, I realized that he meant he believes he's black. He believes he's the best fighter in the world. He believes all kind of stuff because he was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to take over the world, man. He goes, I'll beat Robbie Lawler. I'll beat anybody. I'll move up to 205. I don't care. I'll beat, like, it's like, man, this dude does believe it. Like, whatever it is, he believes it. So it was, it cracked me up, man. Like, I told him after, I said, I understand what you mean now. I didn't understand what, like, he believes it means it. He does believe it.
I told you when I was making fun of him in the crowd, he was like giving me like the piece, this thing. He couldn't have been a nicer audience member. And yeah. So also on this card, Nina Ansaroff, who is dating the champ or married to the champ, had a baby with Nunez, is fighting Mackenzie Dern, who is, jiu-jitsu is off the charts. Striking's getting better. Also a mom. This should be a good fight. I'm into this fight. I think it's a good fight.
Do you think that this gal, the one that's Nunez's wife, do you think she gets this fight if she's not Nunez's wife?
Yeah. She won like 5 in a row.
Okay. I'm just wondering. I don't know her, so I don't know if this is one of those things where they're capitalizing on the situation, or if she really is, this is where she is in her career.
I didn't even know she was a fighter. Nunez's wife's a fighter. I didn't even know that, honestly. No idea.
Yeah. She's got.
See, that's what I'm saying. Whereas the other gal, I know her. She's been around a while. She's won a bunch of fights. Like, I like her.
Also, they just announced, obviously, over the last week, Nate Diaz is fighting Leon Edwards. So I don't really understand this fight.
I don't either. Isn't that weird? Dude. Like, where did the Leon Edwards thing come from?
But I like it. I mean, I like it. Why not? I want to see Nate Diaz fight. Fucking love watching him.
You know what it is? I think it's because we only see Nate Diaz coming back for a grudge fight, and this is someone he doesn't have a beef with. Yeah. So we're like, so why? Maybe so it is unusual, but I'm glad he's back fighting, and I look forward to seeing it. And it's gonna be
Leon better not poke his eye. He better not poke his eye, because I got to see Nick Diaz running into the fucking octagon, and what's his name, Jake Shields, and the rest of those two.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be a good fight. Cyborg is fighting our girl, Leslie Smith.
Nice.
It's the second time this happened. The first one didn't go very well. Leslie Smith, though, is one of the toughest people ever. I told you I did a comedy show with her the day she got a tumor removed. It was like my wife and I had just got, engaged, and she came to Vegas with me. And Leslie's like, oh, I want to do a show tonight. So I had her open up. She takes out a tumor from her stomach and does comedy that night. And then Stephen Bonner comes and goes, look at my hand. And he has a tooth that's lodged in there for life. And my
wife, that where Galicchio's tooth went?
Yeah. And my wife was like, what kind of fucking friends do you hang out with? By the way, Stephen Bonner recently got kicked out of a gym. You see the tape, McCorkle?
No.
So he posted him getting kicked out of a gym and calling everyone sheep for not wearing a mask because he didn't want to wear a mask.
He's a man after my own heart.
So yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, I guess rules are rules, but at the same time,
to me though, I mean, rules are rules, but at the same time, it's like you're sweating all over each other.
Yeah.
Does the mask really make a difference at that point?
I'm with Bonner on that. Just leave the guy the fuck alone. Let him work out. It
seems silly. I mean, I know those are the rules, and I agree the rules are the rules. But I mean, that kind of application, it's like, okay, that seems weird.
Usually, if I'm on the treadmill, I'll ask the person next to me, hey, do you mind if I take off my mask? And and they're always like, go ahead. I don't care. I've never had anybody say, please keep the mask on. That's usually what I do.
I know when I'm on a treadmill, I normally ask the people if they care if I get off the treadmill. Do you care if I don't do this? Because I don't like it. So.
Don Frye, what were you saying? Don? Did his pussy escape again?
I was going to say, I think he's still out chasing that pussy, man.
All right. Well.
Oh, there he's back.
Don, what were you saying? Okay, this week in BYB, it's a new bare knuckle boxing promotion. Sergei Karatinov, you know him, McCorkle, is fighting James McSweeney.
I feel
Karatanov, the guy that fought Matt Mitrione in Bellator? That guy?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Okay, yeah, I do know him, yeah.
He's fighting James McSweeney in bare knuckle boxing. And Dada 5000's on the card, too. So,
yeah?
He's back.
I was going to say on Dada, man, I can't think of anybody who's made more with less talent than probably Brendan Schaub. Like that dude can't fight at all.
That's 3. We got
that guy can't fight to save his life. He almost had a heart attack against Kimbo because of bad cardio, and he's back again. That dude.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, BYB, it sounds like backyard boxing is what that stands for, in which case I can see how Dada is on it. But I don't understand why we're covering it on this podcast.
Because nobody else is.
It ought to be BYD to bring your own defibrillator because he's going to need one when boxer has another heart attack, man.
Jesus.
Yeah. By the way, Colby Covington's sister came to my show when I was in Chattanooga. Beautiful woman. She danced for the Sacramento Kings. Seems really nice. Came with her friend. We were talking about it. I know Kobe was on the whole Trump train, but it did seem like he was becoming a little much. Like when he was on a private jet with Little Pump, and they were going to the guy from the Tiger King, the guy that has like 7 wives. They were petting tigers with that guy. I was like, okay, this might be too much. We got to get back to, So at the same time, would you have joined that trip, Greg, even though you weren't a Trump fan? If Colby Covington called you up and said, you want to go with Little Pump to the Tiger Kings guy?
Yeah, just to get out of the house. I'd have been like, look, I gotta go. I got nothing else to do. I gotta go.
Greg's got to get out there and chase that big pussy.
Exactly. Tell her, come here, you big old pussy. Let's see what we got there.
And then next week, Kelvin Gastelum taking on Robert Whitaker. Looking forward to that one. I hope Kelvin wins.
Yeah.
I really do.
He's not going to, though. You know that, right?
No, he looked great in his last fight, dude.
I know he looked great in his last fight, but this is Robert Whitaker.
But Whitaker didn't look that great the fight before the last fight. And he looked terrible the fight before that. So we'll see. I think Kelvin got it. I
wish Kelvin would go to 170, man. That's a shame that guy won't go to 170 or won't stay at 170. I know he can't make the weight easily, but
I was going to say
the small to be fighting those guys.
Yeah, so. Those guys are huge. I think, and also on that card, Drakkar Klose is taking on Jeremy Stevens. That's a really good fight. And Tracy Cortez, who may be the hottest girl in MMA, just like thick, but like in all the right areas. Like I don't mean like thick, like big, like just like curvy, beautiful,
big neck, a lot of neck.
Taking on Justin Quiche, who. She's the girl that crapped in the octagon, but like was cool about it. She wrote like shit happens afterwards.
And you think the other girl's hot? Oh.
She came to my show. And I was giving her a hard time about it. Super cool, super fun girl. That's a good fight though. That's a good fight. So yeah, what else is going on? Stephan Bonner kicked out of gym over mask. Doesn't go quietly. So, Hall of Fame, Bonner holds an inhaler and a basketball as he alternates between talking to the camera and addressing people working out behind him. Been coming to gym 14 years, getting kicked out on my birthday because one of these sheep were complaining that my mask was dropping. Oof. Bonner says he strolls away. Well, guess what, sheep? I got a medical exemption. I have asthma. I'm doing you a favor by even playing pretend. Masks don't do anything. Wake up, you sheep. Tattletales, cowards. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't sound good. You don't hear that and go, oh, well, now I'm on his side. He made such a cogent point. The way he called me sheep, this guy, I'm on his side now. Like, all right.
Just posted a caption. Easter was a good reminder of how Christ, despite being a cool dude, was pretty maligned. When I was 10, I was thrown out of the Playhouse at Celebration Station for my own birthday party for being too tall. Here I am 34 years later, getting thrown out of the gym for exercising my right to breathe clean air. That's consistency. Happy Easter. March to the beat of your own drum. So,
Wait, did he just compare himself to Jesus?
Exactly. I'm like, I think you might be stretching the comparison there a little bit. And I love it. I love that he made it the point himself that he's been getting kicked out of his own parties since he was 10, but it's still the world's against him. Oh, it's the world, not you, Bonner. Oh, nothing you're doing. No, the world is just against you since you were 10 years old. Like, come on, man. You know, well, listen, if you're going to, clearly,
I think
if we've learned anything from the life of Christ, it's that Stephen Bonner makes a great point.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, if anybody can, identify, understand what Jesus went through on the cross, dying for the world's sins, it's getting kicked out of a gym. But
yeah.
I love
or
Bonner,
a Crystal's Pizza or whatever that was. It's so ridiculous.
I introduced Stephen to Adam one night in Las Vegas, man. That was really funny. That was a funny night. That was a night you first met Stephen.
Stephen Bonner has the biggest heart out of anybody. And the dude he'll take the shirt off your back or the mask off his face for you.
He'll die for your sins.
He'll die for your sins. I don't understand the birthday party got kicked out for being too tall. Like, how tall was he?
Exactly. That sounds, exactly. This is not the story.
What was it, Team
Alpha? Somewhere there's someone that works at that pizza place that has a very different story about this 10-year-old that they eventually had to just kick out for being too big and beating up the other kids or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he got kicked out of a 10-year-old party like last week because he was 34 and he was beating up 10-year-olds. Like, I think that was like, it was all kinds of stuff. But listen, Stephen, man, you obviously, I'm here for you, brother. You're one of my favorite people. Don, what do you think about Stephen Bonner getting kicked out of the gym?
Sounds good to me, partner. Hell, I'm all for it.
I don't think you were listening. You weren't listening, were you?
Yeah, of course I was. What's your name again?
Stephen Bonner got kicked out of the gym because his mask kept falling down.
No, he's right. He's right. These people are sheep. And the thing is, it's a bunch of bullshit. So if you've got, say you've got 10 people, let's make it simple. You got 10 people. So if you inoculate 3 of them, okay, and then 3 of them are too young to get the virus, that leaves 4 more. How are they going to get it if nobody else is carrying it or transmitting it? You know, I mean,
yeah.
Is that too hard of a math?
No, I mean, no, not too hard to understand your math. I'm not sure.
I might question the science, but I'm not going to question the math.
Does the science make sense? Does the science make sense?
Well, I mean, but there were 10 people. There were 10 people at the gym, and there were no kids there, and none of them were inoculated. So I'm not really sure how that pertains to this particular incident, but I do understand.
But if you inoculate 30% of the people, and then the other 30% can't transmit it or acquire it, I mean, and that leaves 30%. How are they going to get it if nobody else is transmitting it? You know, I mean.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, whatever, Don Frye, man, whatever you're on is what I want. Nobody has lived through more wars, more surgeries, more fucking back pains, more drugs. Nobody's lived the life that you lived, and you somehow survived this pandemic. With your own health care operating on yourself. So you're doing something right, you know?
Is indestructible.
I have done that before.
No. Really? When did you operate on yourself?
Wait a minute. And how many beads did you put up your ass before you realized that is not how you're supposed to administer the TRT?
Yeah.
Wait, when
That's
did you?
surgery.
Wait, when did you operate on yourself, Don?
Well, I had a big cut in my leg from a horseshoe nail, and I sewed it up. So I pulled out the piece that was in there, and then I sewed it up.
With what?
Barbed wire.
Yeah, burrows. What are you, dumb? Come on. No, I had some horse thread. Horse sutures, needle and thread. So I just used that.
You use horse stitches on your own body?
Yeah.
They're horse stitches, not whore stitches.
No, horse.
And he washed the blood off at the trough right after he drank from it.
Greg,
I do have a question for
doctor,
Don.
but
I've been wondering, Don, do you feel yourself ever? I know the answer is no, but as you get older, do you find yourself getting less tough? Because, I went and got a jacket the other day because it was cold outside, and it was pure shame as I was doing it because before I would have never done it. I can't even. For 40-some years, I couldn't even use a blanket because blankets are for pussies. So at night, I would not use a blanket, even if I was cold, because I'd be like, quit being a baby. You don't need a blanket. You're cold. But I found as I'm getting older, I'm not nearly as tough as I used to be. I get an umbrella when it rains now. You know what I mean? It's getting ridiculous.
That is, boy, you
umbrella.
are.
You own an umbrella? Oh my God! I can't talk to you anymore.
That's what I figured.
But you're with them umbrella using sheep that are afraid of a little water.
Hey, Greg,
Wake up. The umbrellas don't stop nothing. The water hits the ground, splash right back in your face.
I'm no doctor, Greg, but is that normal to have horse stitches on your own body?
I find it to be unusual.
Sean, have you ever heard of that?
No, I thought at first he said he used a horse hair from the tail to sew it up, and that was even more impressive. I was like, holy shit. But, I don't know. Don strikes me as the kind of guy that when he gets a cut, he burns it like Rambo, even though that would make it worse, not better. It's just just to prove that he's not, the cut doesn't matter. I'll just burn you. I don't know, man. I knew he was going to say no. He hasn't gotten less manly, but I'm ashamed of myself.
I did try that, and it didn't work. You're right. It didn't work.
Now, Don, as far as with your woman, right? Normally, I go one round of sex and I'm tired. But a manly man like you, how many times do you go per night?
I never get tired when I have sex with your woman.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That makes one of us. Kidding. Greg, how many times do you go per night?
Oh, come on. Wait, by myself? 3 or 4?
No.
With my wife. Once a month.
Sean, you?
It all depends on how much testosterone I'm taking at any given time, I guess. Depends on if I'm loaded up or not. But no, everything slowed down as I got older, man. I'm not as, just not half the man I used to be.
I don't think we've done it 2 times in one night. I mean, in probably 8 years.
Yeah.
There was a time those first 3-4 years where it was, we'd hit it all the time. But then once it slowed down, it just, there's no round 2.
I know. And my wife always goes, let's go again. And I'm like, just give me 10 or 12 days. Crazy.
Sounds like you need to shove some more TRT pellets up your butt and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Greg, what do you have coming up?
Well, I'm here in Vegas. I will be here through Sunday. If you want to come through, I'm at the LA Comedy Club at the Strat at 8 p.m. nightly. And then later this month, at the end of the month, April 30th, May 1st, I'll be at Laughs in Tucson. And then Cinco de Mayo, I'll be doing a special show in Dallas at DD's Downtown in Frisco.
And Sean, you?
Yeah, man, I don't know. I just hope you get better. I told you I texted Adam this morning or today and told him I'd been sick, man. I think I got food poisoning. I've been trying not to carb, so I find myself like Dominic Cruz, with meat in my mouth all the time. But I've been really sick, so I hope to get better. Although my girlfriend, I threw up probably 20 times last night, and my girlfriend did point out the fact I just finished Brendan Schaub's special, comedy special. So
there it is.
Also.
Boom! We got 4 of them today.
Yeah, 4. I don't know.
Don, what do you got?
I'm just working on the the podcast, Dan and Don's Toxic Masculinity podcast. So I sent some guy that we all know and love some money to buy an airplane ticket, and so far he's stiffed me on the money. So I'm thinking about heading out to Indiana and kicking him in his one ball that's left, you know.
I don't know if this is about me or Adam this week. So
I don't even know what.
Adam.
I think it's about Tom Green.
I don't know what's going on here.
I got it. I got that. Greg.
This Friday, I'll be at the Casino Inn in Alpine, California. And then I'm at the Boca Black Box in Florida, April 23rd and 24th.
Don't call her that. Call her by her name.
I was going to say, is that the strip club you're going to? Boca Black Box?
April 30th, I'm at Sea Legs at the beach with Jamie Kennedy. And May 7th, and that's in Huntington Beach. May 7th and 8th, I'm at OB Fuck House, Fuch House in San Diego. And then May 14th and 15th, I'm at Tiffany.
Oh, where do you get out? I'm at and you say it like it's totally normal too. I'm at I'm going from the Boca Raton Black Box to the Santa Barbara Fuck Tank, and then I'm gonna be in the Portland Ass Munch. And I'm gonna be at the Tacoma Tank Tickler.
The pool. Yeah.
What pool? The semen pool, he said?
The semen pool.
Oh, I'm at the semen. And I'm at Tips Comedy Club in Morris Plains, New Jersey, May 14th and 15th. Then I'm doing a show at a nudist colony in Temecula, May 30th. That's
My God. And then you end with the nudist colony, of course.
Wait, do you have to be naked too?
No. That's in the contract. But yeah.
You'll have to imagine the audience with their clothes on.
That was a good one, McCorkle. That was good. That was real. That was funny. That was good.
Anyway,
he's been saving that one since he's 12 years old. You know?
Finally got to use it. Woo! What a journey.
You guys are great. Thanks for making me cry laughing. Take care, guys.
You guys are the best. See you next week.